What's the most rewarding part of your job?
Fixing something that's broken. Because everything comes here broken. Everything comes here broken. And to get it to be what it's supposed to be, it's pretty cool. My name is Stephanie Stevens. I'm 31. I'm an auto mechanic. I specialize in VW and Audis. I've been working with Eddie's team for about 3 years and we're located at 2D Grove Road, Kingston 8.
How did you get into it?
It's a funny story. I drove a Jetta at the time and the water pump broke and I got recommended to a mechanic to get it fixed. After it got fixed, I asked him if he'd be interested in teaching me because it's something that I've always been interested in doing, but I never had anybody to teach me. And he said as long as I was serious, he would teach me, and that's just how it all began.
What year was that?
2018, before I started doing this, I was working with a telecommunications company in their administrative department.
So I decided to make the switch.
Well, the whole car breaking down thing happened when I was working at that company, and the company was scaling back towards the end of 2018, early 2019. So when I saw the opportunity that I was going to eventually not have a job with them, I decided that maybe I should get into what I was actually passionate about, which was a mechanic.
Have you received any training for it?
Official training? Not 100%, no, but I'm in the process of getting the training from Jagos, which is the Jamaican Automotive German School. So that's what I'm working on, getting my certification from them.
So growing up, what was your career goal?
It varied. It was always something creative. At one point it was architectural. At another point it was interior design. For the most part that was it. And then when I went to college I decided on forensic science. So that's what I actually studied, forensic science. Yeah.
Do you remember your first day on the job?
I remember the first day I went out of town to work on a car. That's probably one of the first official days I would say. We went to work on the transmission on a Q5, or the valve body actually. And that was a Saturday. It was a random Saturday, and I remember saying I was excited because I was going to learn something new and see something I hadn't seen before.
What are some misconceptions about female
Mechanic work? Well, people have come here before and I think that's only the administrative work. They don't think I can do the heavy lifting, or I don't want to get dirty, or I don't want to get greasy. They think that you're just maybe not paying attention, or you're not strong enough, or it's just not something that you've been interested in for very long. But to me, I feel like no matter your gender, your profession is your profession, what you're passionate about is what you're passionate about. So it doesn't matter if you're a woman doing a man's job, so to speak. As long as it's something that you're capable of doing and you have all the knowledge and the skills, I don't think you should have any problems.
How do you work with your knees?
Same way that you work with your hands. It doesn't impact me with what I'm doing. I mean, you might have like a tight space, but they're not too long, and I get them done every week so that way I have clean hands. And once you have the right tools, your hands don't necessarily have to be doing all of the work. So once you have the spanner that can fit in the space, or you have the right tools, like having the proper tools is actually a very important thing in the whole field, because when you don't have the right tools, you tend to damage stuff. So that's probably where the question might be coming from. But for the most part, it don't bother me.
What's the best part and the worst part of the job?
The best part is when you take a car that was probably parked up for 2 years, just looking like it's almost about to die, and you kind of give it life again, because 9 times out of 10 the vehicles I work on are cars that have been disabled for a period of time. Like not just that they break down yesterday, they've been broken down for a period of time, and just kind of giving it back life is one of the more exciting things about it. The least exciting thing is probably when you have someone that's hard to deal with as a customer, because everybody has different personalities, as well as when you're trying to do something and it's just not working, or you're frustrated and you just kind of feel like a bit demotivated. So I wouldn't say that there's like the worst parts of it, but they're just more like challenging parts of it.
What has the job taught you?
Patience. Lots and lots of patience, because you do something and think you do it the best possible way, and then you realize that you have to do it all over again. So it's more, you'll have repetitive things, or you have things where you make a simple mistake and it costs you, and it's just to be patient with yourself and be patient with what you're working on. So just take the necessary steps that you have to take, and just work in synergy. I love working on diesel vehicles because diesel tends to be a very noisy car, and I try to build quiet engines. So to me, that's my thing. My thing is I build a very, very quiet diesel engine. So these are our cylinder heads. This is a cylinder head for a diesel Amrock 2 liter. This is a gas cylinder head. This is a 1.8T cylinder head, and this is also a gas cylinder head. This would be a 16 valve, a 1.8T is a 20 valve, 16 valve. An oil pump, I believe this is for a TSI, a TFSI 2 liter engine. An Amrock 2-liter block with a part of the bracket on it and the caps for the crankshaft in there. And this is a turbofan arm rock, and this is a crankshaft for a 2-liter gas engine. Everybody drives a different kind of car, so you kind of work on what you have. So I started with transmissions. So I started with transmissions specifically on Q5s, and as I grew, there was a lot of diesel engines that were coming in, and I was like, people don't really like diesel, and I said, I want to see if I can master that and become really good at it, and I did. So now I love fitting up a diesel engine. That's like my preferred choice. So if you send anything diesel to me, good to go. I'm not saying that I can the gas, because I can the gas just as well. I just enjoy diesel a lot more because I feel like you can get more power and you can do so much more with a diesel engine than you can with a gas engine. That's just my estimation.
What else is special?
Everything. So front end parts, servicing, engine rebuilds, cylinder head, changing of front end parts, changing of wheel bearings, anything related to the car. I can do electrical work as well. I don't do detailing in terms of cleaning them up or anything like that. I don't do body work.
Do you think that mechanic, auto mechanic, is a dying art because of the emergence of the technology in cars?
No, I don't think it's a dying art. I think it's just changing. So it's just that it's changing and you just have to change with it. So it's not, you won't become obsolete. It's just maybe the way that you might approach a situation or what is required of you isn't the same as before.
How important is your job now doing the Christmas thing?
I mean, you have people that want to hurry up and get their car ready for the holidays, which is natural, but you want to move around, see family, stuff like that. So it's not that it's not popular, it's just depending on who you work with and stuff like that.
Is it more tedious or demanding more?
I wouldn't say it's more demanding, it's just that people are a little bit more pressuring with how quickly they want stuff to be turned around. So I just tend to let you know that if I can do it by this time, I can. If I can't, then you just have to probably ask somebody else. I'm not going to promise you something when I know that I can't do it.
Why did you choose the name? Can tell the person.
Oh, the girl grease monkey. Just because people tend to refer to mechanics as grease monkeys, and some people, well, for example, the person that I work with, he didn't like the name for himself, but I was like, but it's kind of cool. I thought it was just kind of quirky, and monkeys are fun, they're exciting, and I just thought it was kind of cute, so I just put my own thing on it and said the girl grease monkey instead of just calling myself a grease monkey. So that's how it came up.
Do you have other passions, and do you see yourself leaving this job for the others, or dropping the other passions for this one?
I think I'm also passionate about photography. I love like DIY projects as well, and I don't think that I'd have to leave one to pursue another one. I think it's just more managing your time and scheduling so you can say, okay, well, on weekends I'm able to do this job versus the other one. So I would never leave mechanics to go and do something else, unless it's not necessarily leaving, but it's just more going deeper into another area of it or another specialty, because I'm really obsessed with bolts, like just how they work, the mechanics behind it, the physics behind it. So that's something that I definitely want to learn more about. So I wouldn't say it's me leaving mechanics, it's just diving deeper into what it is that I'm already doing. So everything else I'm passionate about is just anything creative, to be honest with you, and there's nothing that would stop me from doing this to do that or doing that to do this. It's just to be able to try and find a way to do all of them together.
Why do you stay committed?
Because I love it. I really, really love what I do. Like I get excited when I come to work. I get excited when I'm working on something. I get excited starting something and it gets into completion. I love what I do. I love what I do, and I don't think that I'll ever stop loving what I do.